Well, folks, it's Tuesday, October 1st. The grains update, quick grains update. Lots going on. Never seen a time like this in my life as far as the world goes. We'll see how much chaos we can add to this thing. I knew this was going to be a busy month. I mean, ahead of the vote coming up here in a month. But as far as the macros and the world goes, I don't know. We'll see how wild we get here. So, as my market text said earlier in the day, you knew about the Iran launching missiles on Israel, declaring a state of war against them. Israel promised to fight back, so expect something in the next day or two, probably at night. So that lifted the crude oil market a couple of bucks, which was really not that bad. I think wheat strength was part of that. Also part of getting through the USDA report yesterday. Also part of the ongoing dryness in Russia. Also part of the really soggy conditions in Europe. Western Europe continues to just get soaked. They can't get their crop established. There's no rush. They can do it in November if needed, but the weather continues to suggest it's going to be November. So November seeded crops usually not ideal. On top of that, our own southern plains are still dry, and you've got parts of the Pacific Northwest that continue to be in summer. So anyway, on top of that, we've got the East Coast and Gulf longshoreman strike going on. That's 45,000 workers, and that shuts down just about everything. Well, they say 45% of the goods coming into the U.S. come from that direction. The other 55 are from the West Coast. Typically, an administration will come in and force them back to work because it's more of kind of a national security threat. We'll see if that actually happens. It sounds like, from what I'm hearing, both sides are content to strike and are in no mood to compromise, so it's going to be extended. What my fear is, the one thing I'm losing sleep over in these grain markets is, will the West Coast remain untouched? Will they stay at work here, or will they think it's a good idea to jump in too? I'm speaking a little bit ignorantly. I don't know when their last contract was renewed. I don't know how long ago that was. So I hope they don't get brought into it, but it just kind of turns into like a virus, and pretty soon everybody wants more money. Everybody wants to strike. And in the case of the East Coast and Gulf, I think they're more or less fighting against automation than anything else. They're already getting a good amount of pay. Most of them are in mid six figures, 150 to 200,000 a year. So it's probably not about pay. I think this is about automation and the fact that they, I would guess ports don't want to pay that. If you look at the Chinese ports, you look at some of the international ports, they're a lot quicker and more efficient than ours, and they're in, without having to fight the labor problems we have. So that seems like a losing battle to me. So anyway, the markets, if we can avoid a West Coast showdown and problem with the ports, Russia forecast was looking like it was going to get wetter. The Euro had rains moving into some of those northern districts, but today's afternoon models push the high pressure back north and push the low with it. So they're going to stay high and dry at least another 7 days. So at what point is this a crisis? I mean, they're losing acreage already. One question I had was, how much spring wheat are they going to bring in to put in those areas that are traditionally the northern winter wheat areas? Are they going to plant it to spring next spring? Why not? I don't know why they wouldn't. So, we can't. I don't think we can zero out those acres. So Just had a big band of turkeys move in over here. Maybe you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, there's a group of turkeys just showed up. Not something you see here every day. I'm just down here by the river, waiting for kids to get out of school. So, otherwise, soybeans has been pretty exciting. That market looks like the one to me that's going to correct first without some sort of political news out of the blue. Corn looks good to me. I mean, the Brazilian problem is more of a corn problem, and that report on the NAS report yesterday, it showed more demand than expected by almost 100 million bushels, and stocks were below expectations. And I think our internal demand is definitely higher than what people think. It would explain some of the higher basis level or better basis levels than we've seen. So favorable. It's very favorable for the wheat market. I feel like it's got a lot of reasons to move. With the one thing I'm worried about, besides the West Coast ports, I guess it'd be the second thing I'm worried about, is it's kind of felt like there's been a thumb over these markets as they've been kind of managed from some sort of entity, be it a government of some kind. And you know, we've seen some evidence of that in a couple different areas we've talked about. But as far as I can tell, that's still there. Today, for example, you know, wheat made its first push over $6, and that looked like it was going to stick. And then the sellers came in there right at the end and punked it below that. Probably the bigger news is crude oil, with the Middle East looking like it's going to blow up. I mean, you're going to have everybody jumping on the sides and wanting to eliminate Israel. So I think we might be one of the only countries trying to back them up, maybe the Saudis, and that's about it. Crude oil probably should be up banging on $100, if not above it, and yet at one time today it was only up about $1.20. So definitely some major sellers in that market pushing things lower, trying to push it lower, hold that thing back. So still think our grain and our food and our energy is still getting manipulated a little bit. And so I don't think they can win the battle, but they can prolong the battle. So I'll write about that in my weekend stuff. But just wanted to update you. There's a lot going on. So have a good day.